multiple awards, including Fremont's Got Talent in 2012. She is widely acknowledged as the teen voice of the Bay Area, and she'll be singing both the Indian and the American national anthem today. Give it up for Miss Indo-American, please.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
So I made her parents promise that she won't forget about us when she's rich and famous. Pretty much hard to follow that. But I would like to again welcome you all here today. As you all know, the Indo-American Community Foundation was founded in 1994 as the first of its kind Indo-American organization created to build bridges with mainstream organizations, diverse leadership, think tanks, and public officials. After September 11, 2001, the event that we now know as the Unity Dinner was created and now going strong in its 14th year. So I've been asked to say a few words this evening about unity and diversity, but I thought instead I'd share a story with all of you. There's a famous theologian from Brazil named Leonardo Boff, and he was in a roundtable discussion with the Dalai Lama. Leonardo Boff is widely acknowledged as the father of the theology of freedom. And during this roundtable discussion, he turned and asked the Dalai Lama, perhaps with some malice, "Your Holiness, what is the best religion?" Mr. Boff thought the Dalai Lama would say, well, clearly Tibetan Buddhism or the Eastern religions, much older than Christianity. But instead, the Dalai Lama paused, he smiled, he turned to Mr. Boff, looked him in the eyes, which surprised Mr. Boff because he knew there was malice in his question. And the Dalai Lama answered, "The best religion is the one that makes you a better person." To get out of his embarrassment and in response to such a wise answer, Mr. Boff asked, but what religion makes me a better person? The Dalai Lama responded, "Whatever makes you more compassionate, more sensible, more detached, more loving, more humanitarian, more responsible, more ethical. The religion that will do that for you is the best religion." Mr. Boff was silent for a moment, marveling at this wise, clearly irrefutable response. Dalai Lama went on to say, "I'm not interested, my friend, in your religion, or even if you are religious. What really is important to me is who you are. Your behavior in front of your peers, your community, your work, in front of the world. Remember, the universe is an echo of our actions. The law of action and reaction is not unique to physics. It exists in human nature. If I act with goodness, I'll receive goodness. If I act with evil, I'll receive evil. I believe we live in a world that has clearly too much focus on that which divides us rather than that which unites us. And that's both sad and unsustainable. Perhaps our only hope is not to shift our focus, but to shift our perspective. To take those things such as our diversity of ethnicity and religion and beliefs, and yes, even politics. And take those things not to divide us, but to unite us in the common goal of becoming better people and treating other people better. If we're able to harness this unity through diversity, then nothing else matters. If we're not able to harness this unity through diversity, and instead allow divisiveness to rule the day, sadly, nothing else matters. So that's my food for thought, and now I think I owe you real food, and we'll begin dinner. Now, I've been charged with only one task, and that's keeping it on time. I'm already 25 minutes late. I need your help. Although I've told that to about 25 different people, and I've only gotten 2 answers, either Indian Standard Time or Asian Standard Time. So I'm not going to use that as a crutch. I'm going to ask you guys, get your food, eat, drink, be merry, and grab your dessert, and we'll get on with the rest of the program. Thank you so much.
You all awake now?
He'll speak to you for a couple minutes with some community information. Mr. Tamby?
Thank you for giving the opportunity to talk here. I won't take much of your time. I know there's other nice, fantastic programs on the card here. So just wanted to introduce myself before I start. My name is Nikhil Tambe, as you mentioned, and I'm the Community Relations Director for the Bay Area region for Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh, or HSS in short. So I'm here today to invite you all to come partner and participate with us for International Day of Yoga celebrations. So some of you may already know, United Nations has passed a resolution as for celebrating 21st of June every year as International Day of Yoga. So this has been unanimously approved by 176 countries all over. And each country is celebrating in its own different way. So we at HSS would like to partner with you, with the cities, schools, colleges, and bring awareness of yoga to the masses. Just to give a brief background of who we are, HSS, we have over 150 chapters across USA. And last year we celebrated 25th anniversary, where we were established in 1989. And here in Bay Area, we have about 20 chapters with 600 people participating every week, where they come and join for do yoga, intellectual activities, and also character building, where the key aspect of this is serving the community, like helping at the homeless shelters, senior centers, or highway adoption, working with many cities here for spreading the Health for Humanity program, where every year we do between 15th Jan and 2nd of February, we try to do 1 million sun salutations. Overall target is 1. So last 4 years we were able to achieve with the participation of different cities across the USA. So we had over 25 proclamations from different cities in California itself and more across the nation. So working with different cities. So we wanted to invite you all so we all can work together as a community for making America healthier and participate in the International Day of Yoga. We have our volunteers here. And we also have a table outside where we have more details on what activities we can do. Like in schools, we can go and teach yoga to the kids. Because yoga is not just the exercise, right? It's going beyond exercise, mind, body, and working with the nature in harmony. So for the betterment of the society in all. So let's make America more healthier, and would like to see partner with all of you there. Thank you.
All of you who are concerned for my safety and well-being because of these bright lights, fear not. I've just applied suntan lotion. I think I'll be okay. This is the point in the evening where we recognize all of our honored guests. I'd like to invite someone who's no stranger to any of us, Mr. Jeevan Zochi, to come up on stage with me. Ceremoniously, we'll have all our honored guests come up on the stage and take one grand photo with this guy, Jeevan. I think you know him. So if you'd hold your applause till the end, it would be kindly appreciated. And when I call your name, come on up on stage with us. Honorable Congressman Mike Hanma. Okay, on a federal level, you can applaud. For everybody else, let's hold our applause. I get it, federal, state, I get it. Honorable California State Treasurer John Chang. You guys aren't going to listen to me, just keep talking. Honorable California State Controller Ms. Betty Yee. Honorable Assembly Members Bill Quirk, Kansan Chu, and Evan Love. think you guys have to stand though to keep clapping. It's up to you. Honorable County Supervisors, Scott Haggerty, Cindy Chavez, Dave Cortez, Nate Miley, and Richard Valley. Honorable Mayor of Cupertino, Rod Sinks, and City Council members, Gilbert Wong and Zavita Vidyanathan. Good? Is that close? Vidyanathan. Take two. Honorable Mayor of Fremont, Bill Harrison, Mayor of Milpitas, and Mayor of Milpitas, Jose Estevez. Honorable Vice Mayor of Fremont, Sue Chan. She brought her own cheering section. Honorable Fremont City Council members, Rick Jones and Lily May. Honorable Dinuba City Council member, Kay Husu. Maloney College trustee, Teresa Cox. City of Fremont Police Chief, Richard Lucera. I feel safer already. Fremont Planning Commissioners, Raj Salwan and Dave Bonacorsi. Chabot Las Positas Community College Board of Trustee, Hal Jin. Washington Hospital Board, Dr. Jacob Epen, Pat Danielson, and Dr. Bernard Stewart. And finally, BART President Tom Blaylock. Hey. The rest of you can all go home now. Oh, Bob, you want to come on? No. Judge Roy Hashimoto. Former Alameda Council member Lena Tam. Is there anyone I forgot? Come on, don't be shy. All right. Can we have a big round of applause, please?
All done. All night. These are all to say
I'm now going to, thankfully for all of you, turn over the microphone to Mr. Jeevan Zinchi.
Good evening, everyone. I have the distinct pleasure and honor to introduce our Consul General of India, Sri Venkatesan Ashok. He was born in Orissa, India. He graduated in civil engineering from the Indian Institute of Technology in New Delhi, and he joined the Indian Foreign Service in 1982. Ambassador Ashok has held diplomatic assignments in Hong Kong, Malaysia, China, Austria, and Sri Lanka, apart from postings in the Ministry of External Affairs in different capacities. He was Director of External Relations in the Department of Atomic Energy between 1995 to 1998. And he was also India's alternate governor and alternate permanent representative in the International Atomic Energy Agency, Vienna. He was the division chief of the Central Europe in the Ministry of External Affairs prior to his assignment as Ambassador of India to the Republic of Zimbabwe between March 2008 and June 2011. Ambassador Ashok is now serving as the Consul General of San Francisco from 21st of November 2014. He speaks Chinese, English, and several Indian languages. He has also authored a book, apart from several technical articles. His interests include reading and music. Please welcome Ambassador Ashok with a round of applause.
Good evening to all of you, to all the distinguished luminaries, public officials, all the distinguished Indian Americans, friends. I always enjoy the opportunity to have the ability to be able to speak to you all, and today it is a great pleasure that I am here in this Unity in Diversity dinner which is being hosted here in Milpitas. I think India itself is the best example of unity in diversity that you can ever think of anywhere in the world. As I see the people seated here, we have so many languages, so many religions, so many communities, so many regions. And if that is not diversity, then I don't know what else is. And it's wonderful that from a country which is as diverse as that, you have chosen to come all the way to America, which is again another country which is a study in unity in diversity. And in this country, you have made us proud, you have made yourselves proud, you have done exceedingly well. And this is a tribute to you all, to your parents, and also, I think, to a significant amount to the country that you originated from. Because many of you studied there, many of you gained wisdom there, and now you are using that wisdom here. I'm very happy that the speaker before me mentioned the International Day of Yoga, because again here I think is an opportunity for us to do unity in diversity. The Prime Minister has directed that all embassies and consulates worldwide conduct the International Day of Yoga. And in line with his directive, we have managed to secure the Palace of Fine Arts for the Indian Yoga Day, the International Yoga Day, which India will celebrate. And I hope and count on the support of all of you, including the HSS, the Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh, whose office bearers met me some days ago, to participate with us in making this a grand success. We will really want to do a big splash. We want to invite dignitaries, we want to invite state officials, we want to invite people from the length and breadth of California and even beyond to highlight to them the greatness of yoga, the legacy of yoga, which is something which India can teach and which I think the world rejoices in learning. In this part of the world, there are a lot of practitioners of yoga, and I think it would be fair to say that per capita, non-Indians perhaps do more yoga than Indians. So I think the International Day of Yoga is the value of something which we had left behind. as it is in trying to project it to other people, in trying to tell them the benefits of yoga. I will be very brief now. I just want to say that we are trying our level best to improve services for the community in visas, in passports, in other consular services. And we have tried to do this through outreach to all of you. We had a visa camp in Los Angeles about 10 days ago. This was the first time after we had the outsourcing agency that we have done a visa camp outside San Francisco. And we are now doing one tomorrow in Seattle, and we will also be doing in the Bay Area. So I look forward to your cooperation, and please let us know how we can serve you better as the time goes by. Thank you very much.
I'd like to now invite Fremont's Vice Mayor, Ms. Sue Chan. You get the biggest applause.
I have to take the microphone all the way down here. Oh, there's... Good evening, everyone. It's so nice to see everyone this year, always looking wonderful, and what a wonderful occasion we have today, celebrating Unity Day. We have some very special honorees tonight, and I have the honor of introducing a very special friend, and that is our current California Treasurer, Mr. John Chang. John is originally from Taiwan, but moved to New York, and then he was raised in Illinois, and I'm a fellow Illinoisan, so John and I have that as a great connection. And I have to tell you, he's a very special person. He has been to the Unity Dinner on a number of occasions, always very happy to support the wonderful mission and goals of the Unity Dinner. And before his current position, he was on the Board of Equalization, and he was followed by a very special person also, Ms. Betty Yee. And then, in 2007 to 2015, he was our California State Controller. Now, if any of you have ever gotten a check from the state, it was signed by our wonderful John Chang. And interesting enough, he was followed by the current controller, and that is Miss Betty Yee. Do you see a pattern here? And so we know that John is going to do a tremendous job as treasurer. He did a fabulous job as controller. And if any of you had any unclaimed property, bank accounts that you had forgotten about, or stocks, John was the person, whenever you met him, he would find out, whether or not you had something coming to you. So always thinking of us. And so it is my great honor to introduce our current California Treasurer, Mr. John Chang.
Well, good evening. I'm delighted to be with all of you. I'm not trying to be rude. I had cataract surgery on Wednesday, so I'm trying to keep the bright lights out of my eyes. Sue is an extraordinary public servant. She's as personable as can be and is a terrific leader. So, Sue, thank you, along with Jivan, for the invitation to be here tonight. It's always great to be with terrific people. And that Dr. Besh is really hot, so he's a great MC, so they're doing a great job. So Consul General, Ambassador, Congressman Mike Honda, distinguished guests, it's a great pleasure to have this incredible professional privilege to introduce an extraordinary public servant for the state of California. Betty Yee succeeded me as the California State Controller, and there simply could not be somebody who is more capable to take on the responsibilities as California's Chief Fiscal Officer. One of the extraordinary things that Betty brings is, and I've watched her over these first two plus months, There are a lot of tasks and responsibilities as California's controller. So you're going into the great depths in regards to finances. So whether it's investments, whether it's debt, whether it's auditing, whether it's accounting, it's very technical. And the more that Betty stays out of the news, the more that you know that Betty's doing all the hard work. Betty sits on all these boards and you don't get to watch her, but she does all the reading, and when you're getting per board, 5 to 1,200 pages of reading, Betty is incredibly well-versed, working hard, asking the tough questions, including to Vice President Gore on climate change and other types of issues. She's traveling throughout, making sure that California is in a position to grow our economic recovery. But we all have to understand that we go through business cycles, we go through debt cycles, we go through commodity cycles, what we learn in our normal economic activities. And the important thing is that we will have, at some point, a time where we're going to have to address some really rough patches. And there is nobody who's going to be more aggressive, more tenacious, fighting for all of you to make sure that California gets through that next difficult period and keeps us on track. In addition to all of that, when we talk about university and unity and diversity, Betty is working everywhere, right? If you'll see her in San Diego, you'll see her in Riverside, you'll see her in Sacramento, you'll see her in the northern reaches. And so she is somebody who represents over 38 million people. And so she is an elected official, and there are many who are incredibly capable, but she has a sense of the fact that she wants to be with you, right? She wants to go close that gap, and by closing that gap, you really empower people, because they have to hear your voice. They have to understand, you want to understand, she wants to understand that you are heard, and more importantly, that you're going to get your issues addressed. Somebody who came up and said hi to me, Dr. Kapoor, said he still had unclaimed property. So Betty, I am officially handing Dr. Kapoor over to you tonight so that he can take on that task. But let me ask all of you to pay tribute to Betty. She is the Citizen of the Year. Let me ask you all to rise to one of California's true great stars, our great controller, the Honorable Betty Yee. And Betty's also a great cook. For those of you who don't know, the next year for St. Patrick's Day, ask her to make corned beef and cabbage.
Thank you, John, very much. Good evening, everyone. It is really my distinct honor to be here to join all of you, and really a terrific privilege to be receiving the Citizen of the Year Award. And when I look at the Indo-American Community Federation, and I can't help it but every time that I'm joining all of you at these events, it truly exemplifies that diversity is our greatest strength in this great state of California. And I want to certainly honor the Consul General who's here, who is continuing to do his work in terms of just bridging the experience from the home country to the experience here in the United States. And you have the commitment of all of us as public officials to assist you in that work. This is a very, very vibrant community that knows nothing else but to just create bridges with all communities. And it's unfortunate that it takes sometimes an event like 9/11 to be the catalyst for that. But we also know that coming out of events like that, it just strengthens our resolve, and it strengthens our commitment to be one and to be unified. And so I'm just really terribly honored to be here standing before you. And to John Chung, let me just say, I know of no other public servant who probably clocks more miles than any of us who are in elective office, because he truly wants to be on the ground and understand who he represents and bring the highest caliber of service to all Californians. And to John, being such a role model to all of us, thank you very much. So I wanted to just share a couple of thoughts, because as I stand before you and I look at the great diversity in this room, I can't help but to think about each of our unique personal journeys. And whether it's our own or that of our parents or our grandparents, it's the fact that each of us has a unique history about us that makes us such a great, great community together. And yes, as we talk about our personal histories, we find lots of common themes, common experiences that we can weave together and that really brings us together. But yet we can also admit and talk about the hardships that sometimes we like to put behind us. But it's really those challenges that we've overcome, either alone or together, that have strengthened us as this community. And there will be more of them to come. But what gives me great hope is that in this room, and what so exemplifies California, what California is, our great state was built on innovation, was built on investing in our human capital, was built on really immigrants coming to this state and laying down the infrastructure that we are all enjoying today. And so as I look at this room and we talk about issues of the drought, when I look at this room and we talk about issues of economic opportunity and educational quality, and whether you're an engineer, whether you're an educator, whether you're in public life, whether you're in the medical field, there is a lot of brain trust in this room that gives me great hope that we can meet all of the challenges that are facing this state. And not only that, but we're going to be the model for the rest of the world. We have just recently elevated to be the 7th largest economy in this world. And that's in large part to the great entrepreneurship and the great spirit that many of you have brought to this economy. And there's no denying the Indo-American community has been a tremendous, tremendous catalyst for economic growth in this state. So thank you for all of your contributions. But I also just want to talk about these struggles that are going to be facing us coming up. And that is we have, obviously, the crisis of climate change, which John alluded to earlier. We are going to be dealing with the real effects of the drought here in the Bay Area, and definitely more severely in other parts of the state. We have some friends from Fresno who are here this evening, and you know that you're facing that challenge each and every day as we speak. But as we look at these challenges, what I think will be happening is that all eyes will be on California. All eyes are always on California for what we're going to do to lead ourselves out of these challenges. And it's the great resolve that we all bring to wanting to work through these challenges together. But as I look at when we talk about economic opportunity for all, educational opportunity for all, it's the fact that we are diverse. There's no one-size-fits-all about each of our journeys to success. But the common bond that I think just carries us together as a community, as a state, as a diverse state, is the fact that we bring our unique histories with us that inform the work that we do, that inform how we live our lives each day. And particularly to the Indo-American community, thank you for just showing the way with respect to your own journeys, your own struggles, your deep commitment to faith. And I am just very, very proud to be this year's recipient of the Citizen of the Year Award. And I know together we will continue to accomplish even greater things. Thank you all very much.
Sorry, Sue. Mark this date down on your calendar, March 20th, 2015. John Chung called Dr. Basil Besh hot. I think it was climate change. I'd like to bring up former Fremont Vice Mayor, Mr. Stephen Cho. If you could please join me on the stage.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. Good evening. Where's Mr. Jivan Sushi? You're not following the program again. What happened to the entertainment that's supposed to be after?
I have no idea what it is.
So I wasn't ready to come up, but that's okay. It's a pleasure to be here to introduce the keynote speaker this evening. Russell Hancock is someone that I met years ago while he was leading the Silicon Valley Joint Venture Conference. He is the current president of the joint venture, a position that he's held since 2003. He is described as a civic leader, a community gatherer, institutional builder, social entrepreneur, and outspoken advocate for regionalism. He is also known as, in my terms, Mr. Silicon Valley, because when he speaks, everyone listens. He is the founder of the State of the Valley Conference. This is a town hall meeting that just occurred back in February, where over 1,500 leaders of the community from all walks of life came together to share ideas and discuss things that are happening in Silicon Valley. Prior to his role as CEO and president of Joint Venture, Mr. Hancock was vice president of the Bay Area Council from 1994 to 1999. That's where he led the coalition or the leadership in making the BART transportation available to get to San Francisco Airport. So for those of you who take that now, you can thank him for spearheading that effort. In year 2000, Mr. Hancock returned to Stanford to become the inaugural director of the Shorenstein Forum for Asia-Pacific Studies. This was Stanford's gathering place for ranking officials, senior executive, journalists, and scholars who shaped outcomes of the Pacific Rim. Mr. Hancock was educated in Harvard in the field of government. He received his PhD in political science from Stanford University. So I hope that Cal graduates here will accept him for that. No one's laughing. I guess there's no Cal graduates here. He was, this where he's currently teaches at Stanford in the public policy program. He is fluent in Japanese and, of course, English. He's also fluent in another language that I'll call Siliconese. No, this is not an official language, but in terms of Silicon Valley, I term this as a way of how everyone communicates telepathically or whatever, because they share ideas and somehow all of the innovations come about in Silicon Valley. And he shares that dream with all of you out there. Today, under Dr. Hancock's leadership, Joint Venture Silicon Valley is recognized as a clearinghouse for regional analysis, for collaborative approaches to solving regions' problems. The joint venture model is now being replicated in various metropolitan regions throughout the United States, Europe, and Asia. Dr. Hancock has most recently provided advice to regional governments in Beijing, London, Madrid, the Netherlands, and Taipei. Now, if that's not enough, in his private life, Dr. Hancock lives in Palo Alto. He has 3 kids, and he raises 3 kids with his wife, Marguerite. He is a devout Mormon and serves in the state presidency of the Menlo Park LDS state. He also leads a parallel life as a concert pianist. And if you've never heard him play, that's something to partake in as well. He has appeared in symphony orchestra across the nation, a person with many talents. So ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in giving Dr. Hancock a warm and rousing welcome to the podium here.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you for that brief introduction.